All right. So here we go. Chuck Hoskin Jr., who is the current principal chief of the Cherokee Nation, is asking Jeep to do away with the name of their Cherokee vehicle. And this has just occurred recently, but it's part of the larger movement to get away from using Native names and symbols as mascots or as a way in which to market things. But what's really problematic is the car maker that owns Jeep, Stellantis, says this, quote, "Our vehicle names have been carefully chosen and nurtured over the years to honor and celebrate Native American people for their nobility, prowess, and pride." There's one big fucking problem with that. All it does is perpetuate this called noble savage trope that has been so problematic for Native peoples over the course of the last couple of centuries. But it also does this really troubling thing where it kind of erases Native people from, contemporary, like this contemporary moment, what they call modernity. So that, whole argument doesn't really hold water for me. So I think what's really going on here is we're seeing, as Susan Harjo, who's a scholar who's been at the center of efforts to persuade teams, schools, and colleges to drop Native American names and mascots, says Jeep's explanation for its use of the Cherokee name, that it was honored in the tribe, was just an excuse. She says, quote, "Of course, it's not an honor." So we'll see what happens with this. But, this just goes back to this notion. These are, independent, sovereign nations. They have a right to determine and weigh in on how their name is used. So we'll see what happens.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. You and I had a lengthy conversation, a virtual conversation about this story. Yes. And we had debated on whether we would go deeper on this and decided we would just do a Malcontented Minute on this because it's not in the local area. One of the things that is interesting, I did have to step out for a minute, Jennifer. So if you brought this up, apologies to the audience. In 2013, when they brought the Cherokee name back, the tribe, the First Nation, was asked what their view on it was, and they expressed ambivalence in the interest of time.